Hello guys, hold on, let me just put my little mic on. It's New Year's Eve, I'm getting ready. Do you want to get ready with me? I am going to a party at 7 o'clock, it's about 12:30 now. I'm starting early because I get distracted a lot. I just spent 45 minutes looking for a comb, didn't find it in the end. I'm going to a Rivals party. If you haven't seen Rivals, it is a show on Disney Plus. It's brilliant. It's set in the UK in the 80s. Basically, that's what you need to know. It's brilliant. And so it's themed Rivals, which means themed 80s. Now, my mum gave me this great 80s dress that she used to wear when I was a kid, and there was a lovely story behind it. But unfortunately, I ate too much at Christmas and I can't fit it on. So I've had to pivot, and we are doing the first song in Rivals, when it comes on, is Robert Palmer, Addicted to Love. So I've got gel. I'm going to gel my hair back, get that out of the way, and then I'm going to do my zip halo. I'll do that off camera because it's not super interesting for you, but my makeup looks better if I do it. And the gel I'm using is a men's one. I always use men's gel. Men expect a lot more of their gel than I think women do. So L'Oreal Men Expert Extreme Fix Instructable Gel, Ultra Strong Hold, High Shine. It smells like Lynx, which actually works really well for the theme. So I'm going to start by just sectioning my hair. I'm using entirely the wrong brush because I didn't find a comb, but this will just have to do. And I'm just going to gel it all, starting at the back and making sure it's absolutely saturated because there is hours before this party starts and it has to last. So getting it through all of the hair. I'm a little anxious today. This is what I call PRT, pre-rave tension. Making sure that I put loads at the front and on the wispy bits. And then you've got to really comb it through. In the absence of an actual comb, I'm using this wet brush because I know I can wash it off. Pulling it nice and tight because you can give yourself a little Croydon facelift at the same time. Right, I was out of breath. Okay, I am going to quickly zip. I'll do like 2 seconds on camera and then I'll do the rest off camera. Right, just give my face a quick blast of microcurrent. To be honest, this is kind of a bit boring for you guys to watch, so I am going to turn the camera off just while I do this and then come back when I'm clean and ready to film and my face is feeling and looking a little tighter, I think. We are going to town. This is not a subtle look. This is Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. We are layering on product. I'm using a beauty blender. Let's do a little bit of history on this makeup look. It was created by Martin Pretorius, makeup artist, very, very established. He did a lot of looks for Annie Lennox, really incredible makeup artist. And he was working with Terence Donovan, who shot this particular video. Terence only liked red lips and black eyeshadow. And so Martin thought, I'm just going to see how much black eyeshadow I can throw at this. Let's see if we can get away with it. And of course, it was a lot more makeup than it would be now on camera because cameras are more sensitive now. But back then, you could just throw it on. And it's great, it's iconic, right? My next stop is foundation, and I am a bit spoilt for choice because I have the Shiseido Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting, or I have the Laura Mercier Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation. Both of these are fantastic. I am going to go for the Laura Mercier because it's a teeny weeny little bit more matte, and their look is very, very matte. So let's do this. I'm putting it on again with the same beauty blender because I can really build this foundation up with it. Oh, these kind of makeups are so much fun. You don't really have to worry about it not looking like you're wearing makeup. Do you know what I mean? A lot of the makeup that I do, I try to make it look, I I suppose I try to make it look like when people look at you, they don't automatically go, Christ, you're wearing a lot of makeup, but they like your makeup, if you know what I mean. So I always try and keep one element of the face quite kind of free from makeup, but today we are doing everything, all of it. So just pop your foundation on everywhere. I've never been a big fan of the whole sort of tapping with a sponge foundation application, because it just makes your foundation so full coverage. But in this case, do it twice. Okay, now we need to take the colour out of my eyelid. So I'm going to use this eyelid primer. This is Colour Fluid Ultra Matte. Canvas is the shade, and it's by Hindash. I'm going to put that all over the eyelid as well. This is going to give me a lovely base to work on top of. I'm going to take that all the way up to the eyebrow, because there's eyeshadow all the way up to the eyebrows. And being super consistent, I am going to use my Viseart Grand Pro Volume 1. I love this palette. So many of my tutorials have included this just because look how versatile it is. It's got everything in there, and the eyeshadows are such incredible quality. So I have a black in here, and I have gradients of brown, and that is what I need. I am going to start by putting some eyeshadow through the brow, and I'm going to use a dark brown and mix a bit of black into it. As I said, not subtle, lush, beautiful. Have fun doing it. And I'm using an eyeshadow brush to do this. This eyeshadow brush has also an angle at the end. But the eyebrows are super defined, but they're not kind of sharp. They're not sharp at the edges. They're quite kind of soft. So that's why I'm using an actual eyeshadow brush. And if I need to, I've got my definer on the other end. So the eyebrows in true 80s fashion are kind of filled in with eyeshadow, but also a bit fluffy as well. And now Glossier Boy Brow. And I'm using the shade Medium Brown, and I'm just putting that fluff in. Gosh, I never do a heavy fill on the brows these days. It's quite funny to do it. Right, eyeshadow time. Go with the lightest one that works with your skin tone. I'm going for a bone colour, and I'm putting that all over the eyelid. Because we are going to be blending in some eyeshadow, and so we need it to be free of oil there. We also need it to last for bloody hours. Also, we need to build it up until we are 99% makeup, 1% face. This kind of makeup look takes me back to like the adverts of the 80s. The adverts were so good in the 80s. Those that are my age will remember that back then we used to record all our favourite films and TV shows onto VHS off the TV. So you'd have all the ads in it. And honestly, you knew the ads backwards. That Volkswagen one, that lady's leaving her husband or her boyfriend, and she's got like a fur coat on, if I remember correctly, and she rips her necklace off and she drops it down the drain, and she throws her fur coat off, and she's basically just throwing away all the things that he gave her, but she keeps the key for the Volkswagen. Brilliant. Genius. Ads were great. Right, we're going to start with a mid-tone brown, so this one here. High through the socket. So the upper side of your socket, not in the socket, above. And then with this brown, we are going to come outwards. And then we're going to blend it a lot. The shadow brush I'm using is my On Point Blender Large, and this one my Ultra Multi, both from my Kitco. And this makeup is going to look horrific until it is done. And then it will look fab, but also monstrous, if you know what I mean. So at this outer edge here, we kind of step away from the crease a bit and we come out so that we're getting more of a wing. Now I'm using my small shadow brush, my Kitco as well, and I'm using a black eyeshadow here. Tap the black, and then starting on this outside edge, work it along the lash line. This look is actually really difficult to do in the sense that you've got to be quite sort of precise with where you put the product, and you have to layer a lot to get the depth. So this is our starting point with the black. And then I'm tapping that on. Do you see? Tapping it on with a brush that's quite firm and compact, so it picks up lots of product, but lays it down in only the one area. This is not the place to use a very soft or splayed brush. You need something that's quite tightly contained. And we really need to build this shape up, 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 up. So it really is like a huge wing that then goes through the socket. Some of the girls have black almost entirely across the lids, but I can't tell if that's just because I never see them with their eyes shut. But there's one particular girl, the girl on keyboard, and you can see her eyeshadow a little bit better. And she does have quite a socketed eyelid. Now, if you have more of a hooded eye, you can just do the black, as I have here, and then blend it upwards. And ignore the socket work altogether. And then at the top of the black, you blend in your brown, which is your transition colour, and it looks insane. YSL, what's this called? Crush liner to tight line. Get right in there. With an eyeshadow look that is black eyeshadow, you need to really, really do this, because any visible flesh colour will be so obvious. Take a teeny weeny brush like this one here. Can you see how small that is? And the black eyeshadow, and I would get in between those lashes as well, making sure that the black is really up there. So I'm taking a clean brush. This one is again a My On Point Blender Large, but just a clean one with just black on it this time. And that's just going through there, blending into that brown, and then flicking out at the end. Now we need to make sure that we're really blending this up here. Otherwise it can go a bit sort of drag, and we need it more 80s. So nice and blended in this like puffy bit here, rather than winged straight out. It's got to be all of it. And then you just keep building it up. This is going to be the longest video ever because I'm nowhere near done. We have got miles to go. It's cold in my studio. They turn the heating off at Christmas because I think they don't think anyone's going to be coming in and working. Hardly any fallout from that eyeshadow, see? Amazing. Right, next I am taking Illamasqua sealing gel. I bought this specifically for this. And Laura Mercier also bought that specifically for it. This is called the Tightline Cake Eyeliner. I love a cake eyeliner. I am using my long liner from my Kitco. It feels a little bit like I've been sponsored by my Kitco. I haven't. I just bought a load of their brushes in Black Friday, so now I've got absolutely everything I could ever want. A drop of the sealer onto the eyeliner cake, and then we're mixing that to the texture we want. I actually miss cake liner. Cake liner is amazing because you can get exactly the texture you want, exactly the kind of colour you want, and nothing goes on as thin as a cake liner. So I'm taking that really close to the lashes. I'm only using this cake liner to intensify the depth of the eyeshadow, because eyeshadow often goes quite grey on the skin, especially if you've layered it over the top of a light coloured eyeshadow. There will always be some kind of blending in, whereas with a cake liner it's just purely the colour that you're putting on, right? So I would use that really close to the lashes just to make sure that it's inky black there. And then build my blend on top of that. And then I just continue to layer my black over the top, you see. And it just means that you have this definite depth there. Right, next we need to take this underneath the eye. And then I need to soften this line, because this line is a little bit drag, whereas it's a much softer blend upwards. So let's use this, and we're going to go, just make sure there's no fallout there. And we're going to take this black, what's left on it, all the way under, and meet it up. Back in with my brown this time, to really soften and smudge out, smoke out those edges. And underneath. And this edge. Basically everywhere. Crush liner on the waterline. And getting right in at that waterline with the black. And then the black just winged out a bit. Tell you what, guys, those 80s makeup artists were shit hot, because this is hard. It's this delicate balancing act where, and I think it's also because of RuPaul's Drag Race, it's so hard to not make it drag, and you really got to try very hard not to make it too soft either, trying to avoid drag. So you end up somewhere with something that's kind of like, this is going towards a bit more 70s now with this smudginess. So I need to bring it back, but also not make it drag. It's quite tricky. I mean, there is nothing that's more concealer-y than the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer. I mean, this is the one for concealing everything. If you want to, like, this is the concealer if you've really got something you want to hide. Now, I generally would use the smallest amount under the eyes, but because of what we're doing today, screw it. I need to just make it a little more refined under here. I need to just pull it back under the eye a little there. I'm going to pop mascara on, and then I am going to do the other eye without you watching. Otherwise we'll be here all day, won't we? Lash Clash. Mascara. I can't tell if the girls have got lashes on. They probably have, but I'm not wearing them because you're not going to see my eyelashes behind all this black eyeshadow, frankly. So I'm just putting loads of mascara on to make them very, very dark, because you can see that instantly adds. I will put it on the bottom lashes as well, but just not yet. Right, I'm going to do the other eye off camera, then I'll be back. Now, the girls' eyebrows look black in the video, so I'm going to run a tiny bit of black through mine, but just through the centre, not at the edge, so that you get that kind of depth there, but it fades out. Now I'm setting it all quite heavily with a Laura Mercier translucent. If you're going to put mascara on your bottom lashes, don't do it until after you've powdered, because you want to make sure that nothing is going to make that mascara transfer. So I am obviously going super flat with this, so a lot of powder. Next I need to find this kind of hideous coloured tawny blush that just goes here. It was really big in the 80s, so I'm going to try and find something similar. It's not a very popular colour these days. I might have to look through my discontinued. Okay, I might be able to get it by either using a MAC bronzer or Sincere blush. We'll see if I can get this dark enough. I am using the My Feathered Contour. So we're coming all the way around. I don't think this is going to be dark enough. It's not doing shit, is it? Maybe, maybe. So we need to come all the way around here. Blend it into the back of the eyeshadow as well. Don't be shy. Absolutely loads here. Loads, loads. Most fun makeup ever. Would be better if it wasn't so cold. There's just simply not enough blush. And it needs to be so deep here that it's almost like a bruise. Oh, so cold. I'm putting my coat on. Oh. Right, lips. Sorry about the noise this coat's going to make. Lips are those pointed 80s lips, so this is entirely the wrong colour. Hold on, let me find one that works. Right, okay, this is a Max Factor one. The colour is Red Poppy. We'll try that again. Nice sharp lines. My Beauty Pie collab, because it stays on like nothing else. It's amazing. So if you have a liquid lipstick that you love, use that. And everything has to be layered with this makeup because I am eating. I'm using this Chanel, I don't know if they still do these even, Le Rouge Duo Ultra Gloss. And this is quite an orange colour. The shade is called Erotica. And it's a colour, and then you put the gloss over the top and it lasts forever. I think they've replaced this with something else that's amazing, but I haven't got the right colour in that. And then give it a sec and you go over the top with the gloss. It is so cold. Right, I've got to pack up and get out of here. This has taken me, the time is now 3 minutes to 3. It's taken me 2.5 hours to do this makeup and hair. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Kit Core, my hair is rock hard. I won't be going to sleep with that tonight. Listen to this. Rock hard. Right, so this is the makeup without my fill light. I put the fill light in because then you can, if you see, it fills the whole side of my face in, so you can see I don't have the shadows there. But without it, it's quite shadowy, but you get a clearer representation because it's a little bit darker of the colour of the makeup. You see? You can see it's much darker. And there you go, that's the end of the makeup. It's the end of 2024. Thank you so much for showing up for me, and thanks for joining my new YouTube channel. If there's anything in particular you want to see, then please leave it in the comments below and let me know what you think of this makeup. And I hope you had a good new year, and I will see you soon. Bye.